All right, we're here. Welcome. We're here to play Mio, Memories in Orbit, which I don't have a lot of familiarity with, but Henry, our senior editor over at Restart.run, has played a little bit of Gamescom before we've hopped into it right now. Henry, what can you tell us about this game?
Yeah, so hello. As Jesse said, this is Mio Memories in Orbit. It's a Metroidvania and I'm going to apologize to all French people, but I think it's Douze Dixièmes is the development studio. We got a little bit of time with this at Gamescom, and now we've got a look at the full game, and we're going to play roughly half an hour, I think, so that folks can check it out. But it's pretty cool. The first thing you're going to notice is that it has an amazing visual style. This initial footage isn't what the bulk of the game looks like, which is quite interesting. It's kind of like a very pencil art, almost sketched style, but mixed with this AI setting where you are playing a robot, a little robot who runs around on a spaceship and tries to bring it back to life, as it were. But it begins with this pretty beautiful sequence, which I'm probably talking over all of the really lovely music that plays at this point. So I thought this opening was quite affecting. I don't know about you, Jesse, but it's a very nice, very almost serene start to the game.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect. So Henry and I have both played a couple of hours of this now, and so we have a little bit of a idea of where this game goes. But I was not expecting this as the opening. Granted, I knew very little to next to nothing about this game when it showed up in my inbox, and so seeing this was like, oh, I don't think I actually understand what this game is. And it gave me a very near Automata sort of vibe of like, oh, we're going, the way it changes its visual identity, the way it uses music and sort of like low poly / like small aesthetic changes to really drive home a point. And this feels a lot like that when it comes to a lot of these sort of like hacking and Android portions of the Nier franchise. And so immediately I was oh, I'm in.
You are nailing this tutorial segment, by the way. We got a pro platformer right here.
Yeah, I have played a platformer or two in my day. This game is, I feel like it starts off a little difficult. It took me a little bit to get into the groove of it, but then I feel like once you get into it, you're kind of you lock in. This game is really, you get put in a flow state.
So when I played this game at Gamescom, when I played Mio then, I found it a lot more difficult. And I haven't been able to tell in playing the full version of this game whether or not I've gotten better because I had to play Silksong in the meantime, or that they've made it slightly easier. But it has a certain, it definitely has a difficulty to it. As Metroidvanias go, I'd say it's on the more challenging side. But compared to Silksong, it is a significantly easier time, I would say. Which is probably the short way of saying that I think we can both agree that Silksong's kind of broken our brains in terms of Metroidvanias, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's so many moments in this game where it was like, wow, they're so kind.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they gave us a checkpoint at a reasonable spot. And then you go, no, that's just actually how games work most of the time.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to keep bringing stuff like that up as we play, because there are so many elements of this that I went through, and I'm, like you said, you're just like, man, the developers are so generous, and it's like, are they generous, or is Silksong just extremely mean?
Yeah. It's like guys who have only played one Metroidvania.
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
It's
but
just
it
giving me
happens to be one of the hardest
vibes.
out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really kind of it's probably not the most exciting footage from a opening standpoint, but the game starts off really grey like this, and then you're like, okay, it's a cool art style, but there's not much color to it. And then when you get out into the world, which I think you're going to very shortly, it sort of explodes with color, right? And it's got this very unique aesthetic that's extremely pastel color led, instead of Oh no, Jesse, I thought you were doing really well, actually. You've just died.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that. It's been a minute since I played the opening of this game.
The invisible enemies, they get you every time.
They get me every time. Where will we go?
See, this is the first bit where you get an idea of, oh, they're doing something fun with the visuals here, right?
Yeah, they're trying something. so many Metroidvanias I feel like get caught up in their own aesthetic. They're either like, okay, we're this one very specific thing, or we're an amalgamation of like, here's the ice level, here's the fire level, and like nothing really has like a distinct visual identity. But this game feels like no matter where you are in it, or at least what I've seen so far, everything like fits. It's very cohesive in its design sort of philosophies, where it doesn't feel like I'm just going to an like, amusement park of levels. It doesn't feel like it's like, okay, here's the contractually obligated sewer level. Here's the lightning level.
I think you've made it to the Haven, right? That's one of the sort of areas. That area, I fell in love with the aesthetic of it. Like, we should probably explain a little bit about what we're doing here as well at the start.
Yeah, I was about to say this nexus,
are like,
it's sort of like your checkpoint. Like, so when you die, you'll come back to the last one that you were at, but it also serves as a place where you can modify. Again, like think Nier Automata, like the chip system, where you have a certain amount of points to spend, and you can put these augments in that affect a lot of things. Like, so the one I have is displays Mio status on the screen. So it's like UI elements, like boss health bars is one you'll get later, or like enemy health bars, or dealing more damage, or being able to take more damage, or all of these like mix of whether it is like simply just gameplay upgrades or literal UI changes.
Yeah, and the modifiers are really powerful in terms of getting you to take certain approaches. For example, like there are healing stations that you can reach, but they cost you to use, and you can get one that makes them entirely free if you want them to be. But you're trading off other things that give you increased damage, or like you said, being able to see enemy health bars is one that the game gives you very early, which I am eternally grateful for because.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time. I make a last minute like decision like where I want to go. I forgot I need to open up the strange tube. I need to talk to Sam.
You got to talk to a guy. So definitely Nier influence, like you're saying, and definitely like you can tell the developers are fans of a lot of Metroidvanias, like Silksong as well. Hollow Knight, rather, I should say, because they developed most of this before Silksong was out. But what's our little girl, actually? I think, although it's a robot, doing here, Jesse? We're exploring some kind of spaceship.
Yeah. So right now, we've kind of just landed here. We kind of just got here, and we're trying to sort of get a lay of the land. We have our snake-like friend down there, who's very clearly not doing super hot. So we want to go get them some. What is it? Is it Nacon?
Knacker.
Knacker. Whatever it's called, the currency. We need to go get them some of that to fill up their pool to make them feel a little bit better, so they can kind of tell us about what's actually going on here and sort of the problem with this world as it currently stands. And in typical Metroidvania fashion, they don't really give you a direction to go in immediately. You're kind of at this point, you're just exploring, finding a lot of, as you can see, locked doors. But we're about to crack this baby wide open because we're about to go outside.
Well, I mean, I think one of the things that I found striking at the opening here is how few enemies. Like, you just encountered a few there, but there's barely any up until this point. And then when you do encounter them, I found it was like surprising. They're not actually that tough, but like it was so much of a shock because I'd been used to just sort of running around and exploring that you get hit quite easily.
Like, as you can see, I'm very close to death.
Yeah.
But I will take one more hit. We've made it outside, but what I am trying to remember is if there's a healing thing over here, or if this is just a locked door. It is just a locked door. Okay, so we're getting outside, and we're getting to maybe my favorite thing about this opening area is the ice. The way that you glide across it and you can carry your momentum, like, oh, it's locked from the other side. See, what I've been doing is if you were really good at this game and this door was open already, you could then like carry your ice momentum and keep jumping, and you can take that speed with you like really far. One of my favorite things to do when playing a game is see if I can develop my own speedrun strategies before a lot of the tech is out there in the wild. And I feel like the ice momentum is definitely
I think you're going to get some bunny hopping to carry you through whole zones with it. But yeah, like, we finally got some color in the world, which is a nice thing. Oh, here's one of the heal points. Yeah, so those you have to pay.
Great.
Mm-hmm. And And I think it charges you based on how many points of health basically you want to get back from them. I want to recall, but it's not very expensive.
No. I never got to a point where I was like, I don't have the money to heal. Like I never didn't have the points I needed. Okay, let's come on. Oh.
Got him. You got him. Nice.
You hate to see it, but we're gonna go get that heal.
You're running back already. You're power gaming it. The combat in this, I think it's quite interesting in the way that it's and the movement are both built on the way hits sort of reset you. Like when you hit an enemy, you effectively reset your jumps, don't you? Which means that before you get powers, there will be people who will be able to use speedrunning tech to essentially bounce off enemies to reach areas that you might not be able to reach otherwise. I love the shift to pink here, by the way, like in the backdrop. It goes from blue to pink like this. So you can use enemies to sort of bounce yourself up into higher areas, or you can use hits on various obstacles to bounce yourself up into things. I think there's like plants that pop up later and you have to use them to effectively like reset all your movement tech mid-air.
Yeah, okay, so we just got the analyzer, which allows us to display enemies' remaining health, but it takes up a bunch of slots on our modifier. So next time we go back to that center, we can equip that and see enemy health bars.
Not just enemies, friends as well. I panicked because I put it in there. I put it in and I walked up and like the allied things have health bars and I was like, oh no, they're gonna turn on me.
And they're not full. A lot of them are not full. Like something bad has happened to a lot of these. Did we loop back around? We did. Okay. Yeah, and to go back to Henry's point about
I was talking about the momentum and like using the hits to sort of reset your abilities. You can show it here on these things. Like
yeah, so there's actually an area coming up, if I can remember exactly where it is, where you have to do that in order to reach like a little secret. So these little guys that shoot the rocks, you can use them. You got to bait one into shooting a rock, and then you can pogo it and get a special upgrade that gives you a permanent damage increase.
Yeah, I got that as well.
And it felt really good.
It's nice.
Oh yeah,
you got your first gauntlet.
Yeah, we got some gauntlets. I know we've already brought up Silksong, but if you've played Silksong, you're very familiar with the gauntlet.
So that little like floating orb that Jesse hits, it's used for something else, but you can use it to like give yourself an extra jump basically in the air as well, if you want it. So it's really helpful for sort of maneuvering around enemies mid-fight and other things. He got you good.
Why are you floating away?
Get back here.
Oh, I think I reset the room.
It would be very funny if it did reset.
It did, yeah.
Yep, you did.
Yeah, the thing kept backing up.
You got trolled by the flying enemy.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
Very nice. So one of the ways I think this game, like we talked about, Silksong has broken our brains, and one of the ways that this game feels so generous is that when you die, you do lose your resource, so you lose the nacre that you've collected so far. But in the beginning of the game, it goes towards unlocking the one of the core upgrades and getting a map. Every time you die, part of that resource goes to refilling, or at least all of the resource you lose, I think, goes to refilling the pool that the little snake guy that we were talking to earlier needs to power up. So it's like, even when you die, you still feel like you're making a bit of progress early because they're assuming that you are going to die early because you don't know what you're doing.
So we got another modifier here, grants an additional layer of protection, so we'll get a third health pip. So right now we have the 2. I only have the 1 because I got hit during this fight. I think there's a heal down here somewhere, but yeah, every time you're going to the ice, it just feels so good.
It does. You can see why they put it in so early.
Yeah, it's been my favorite like movement, even with the upgrades I've gotten. It's been my favorite like movement tool to just play around with.
I think it's really surprising that they put it like it's like the first area you go to, pretty much. Is this the guy you need to use the jump to get to?
I wasn't even talking about this guy, but yeah, I think you can use. I actually don't know how you.
See,
get up to
I
that
think
guy.
you got to bring the gun turret down off the left, and then you can use him to bounce your way up, basically.
Oh sure, yeah, that is a way to get up there. There's a different guy I was talking about, but that guy, that seems like.
But that kind of sums up. There's a lot of just secrets and other things hidden around constantly. I really enjoyed, I don't know about you, but it has a lot of that kind of like discovered interlinking of the world.
Yeah.
So you'll explore an area, and then without you necessarily even realizing it, you'll suddenly find you're in a place that you've been before, and you're like, oh, this is like this room with the elevator or whatever, and you'll have accessed it through a path that was always open, but you couldn't necessarily see it based on the perspective, and then you come through it later, and you're like, oh man, I can now like get in here and go through that route whenever I want. And it's that really satisfying kind of Metroidvania exploration where you feel like you're getting a better understanding of the world, and also properly getting to explore, because there are multiple routes to go most of the time. You don't have to stick to just one path.
Yeah, once you really start unlocking a lot of the connections and realizing how you can maneuver through this world, it feels a lot less harsh. Because I do think up front it feels a little harsh when you die and you go back to your sort of one checkpoint that you've had unlocked this entire time. Because some of those runbacks do feel like needlessly long. But once you start unlocking a lot of the shortcuts and then the additional checkpoints, the game feels like way more fluid, I guess I would say, in the ways in which you can move around this world. Also, we just found that guy who they're gonna give us some upgrades that we can purchase.
Workshop shop, right?
Yeah. Also, like things in the world, like following wires and stuff, can actually lead you to a lot of secrets. So, like following those colorful wires to different healing spots and other things, and sort of realizing how the world like contextually tells you where to go.
Yeah, and when you get close
out.
enough, you can see things through walls as well, can't you? Like you saw that dot appear on the wall, and then it's kind of a case of, oh, how do I actually get there?
There's also not like really like enemy collision in this game, or at least like boss collision, which is like a really weird thing to wrap your head around.
That was one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about as a comparison point to Silksong, because I think it's the largest thing that makes this game feel a lot nicer, especially in boss fights. You can just walk into enemies and they will not hurt you unless they're doing an attack. And in Silksong, so many of the enemies do one, and a lot of them do 2 mask damage if you even touch them. And they can go from like an attack into a collision hit and kill you really quickly early in the game. Whereas in this game, if you get hit, you get a period of invincibility, and if they're not doing an attack, you can just touch them. Like, you could run into these cannon guys, and as long as they're not shooting, they won't hurt you. And it's just a lot more forgiving for the combat early, which I really appreciated as someone who got a bit like frustrated with Silksong's very punishing approach to design.
Yeah, it is really funny. Like, obviously, we have played other Metroidvania games. I know we keep talking about Silksong a lot, but like it really is sort of like the most recent comparison point to playing like a really long Metroidvania game, and it just being so much nicer than that. Like Mio still is difficult in some regards. Like, I do think what it asks of you platforming wise, especially as the game goes on, is not necessarily like crazy difficult, but it is like it expects you to like understand its systems and its mechanics and use them appropriately. And it feels really good when you nail some of that stuff. Like, some of
Especially
the platforming challenges are just they just when they flow, they flow.
Jesse, can you just whoa. What's happened to this guy up on the wall here?
Yeah, he's big chillin'. There's nothing to worry about here.
He's chilling. Okay. That's not some environmental storytelling, right?
No, not at all. What are you talking about? There's
bunch of dead bodies around, guy impaled to the wall.
Yeah, everything's fine. There's nothing going on. Everything's safe. We're in a safe space. See, look, this is fine.
This is your friend, see?
Tomo cannot be disturbed. You will meet the same fate as the others. Yeah, this guy's chill. He's our friend. This is Egis.
Now, it's very important that you don't mess up here because, first boss fight and all. But if you do, it's because we were showing how death works in the game.
Yeah, we haven't died yet.
like I think this is an example of like what I mean in terms of the difficulty of this game. Is that this guy isn't. He's no slouch as bosses go for like there are loads of Metroidvanias that are much more straightforward and simpler than a boss like this, especially when he has a phase 2 that we're probably going to trigger in a second to start doing some funkier movement. He's nowhere like as hard as stuff that you'd find in Silksong or like maybe even Metroid Dread, but he's still mean, as it were. You are doing great. Good.
No, don't say that. Don't jinx me. Alright, come from.
I mean, I feel like you're... Oh, here we go. He's tired. I think you've got him on the ropes. Uh-oh.
Let's get a second one.
We got phase 2.
And he's gonna go up. Yep. Oh. I always forget he does the teleport after the...
You're a victim of your own success here. Because you haven't died, you haven't equipped the health bar thing, so you can't see how much health he's got.
There we go. Easy peasy. Yeah, so that was Egis, I guess, however you pronounce that. That was our friend. Totally fine. Chill. He's just sleeping. Don't worry about him. But we are cruising now. Go down here. As you can see, they're starting to line up more of these crystal things. I wonder why. What could that possibly mean?
And it's our favorite. It's a tube. It's a strange tube.
This part really freaked me out when I first did it.
So Samsk is sort of like your guide through the game, but also the provider of like core upgrades, as it were.
Yeah, and the way
yeah,
the way they upgrade you is maybe questionable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this seems fine. And we're dead.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then you just get brought into the tube. And then, we're back where we started, and we have a new ability now. Which I do like the little tutorial area. They use this as both like a storytelling device, but also a tutorial for the new powers that you get. So basically every time you get a new ability, you kind of come to one of these little...
You've gone too early.
Yeah. Okay, so that's actually a really important thing. So the hairpin, when you use it, you'll see here that meter at the bottom. Oh my god. I do the boss fight fine in the tutorial. It's going to mess me up. You can see that bar at the bottom has to refill before you can use the hairpin again.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just like chain them together, at least not yet.
Yeah, and this is a big part of Mio's movement is that everything requires you to either touch the ground or attack an enemy or an object. So like there are multiple ways to reset yourself, as it were. And if you don't touch the ground, that bar won't refill until it does there.
Yeah.
But you can sort of cheat it by hitting an enemy or hitting an environmental detail, and that lets you do these cool chains and take on some much more challenging platforming sections.
Yeah, it's very Celeste in that regard. If you've ever played Celeste, where it's like, in order to reset your dash, you've got to either hit an item or you've got to touch the ground again and get all your stuff back and be able to do that.
Oh yeah, this is a good example. You can basically use it on enemies as well. So Jesse couldn't make that jump normally, but because he can lock onto the enemy, he can then jump a lot further, which is wicked, and you get an upgrade material.
Yeah, so I think now that we've got this new power, we maybe try and head back to home base, see what's going on there. Because we haven't really returned yet, and you know what? A big part of this opening section is sort of filling up the pool at home, and we have not been home to our good friends in a minute, so I think we should try and make our way over there.
Because you've not been dying enough.
I know, it's a real problem.
Is it a problem you find you have often in games, Jesse?
No.
How have you found like the rate it sort of gives you power-ups and modifiers and all those kind of things? Like, did you feel like it was going at an okay pace, or you wanted it to be faster?
I perpetually think that games don't give you the power-ups fast enough. One of my biggest pet peeves in a video game is when it like leaves its coolest power for last, and then the game is over like an hour after you get it. And it's like, no, like the power-ups are meant to be played with. They're toys, right? They're ways to interact with the environment. So I think that every Metroidvania game should give you its powers way faster than they do. That's being said, I think Mio does an okay job. I think there are like core fundamental powers of a Metroidvania that should be given as soon as possible. And like one of them is a dash. I think just having a dash is like...
I look at it as like the hairpin is like the replacement to the dash at a base level in this game. It's a different take on it, right? Because it's a dash you can use when you're around enemies and certain objects. But they specifically don't give you a regular dash for a fair while. Like I'm maybe 5 hours, 6 hours into this, and I don't have a dash ability, and I don't know if the game's going to give you one. But they kind of give you the hairpin and these other things. Like, I mean, it's not a direct ability, but the fact that they put the ice in so early is really cool, because, like you can see, Jesse can just absolutely tear through this area.
I'm also trying to be really careful, because I only have one health pip to work with here.
Free stuff,
yeah, we get the different currency. There's a couple different currencies in this game. They're all like different variations of kind of the same thing, if that makes sense. Because you'll get the knacker, then you'll be able to like sort of crystallize it into this other currency, and then you'll have like old cores, which are used for. Remember our friend earlier that we met that kind of just walked away from us? He's gonna sell us some cool stuff. He needs old cores to like to be able to remake some of the whatchamacallit,
the like health upgrades.
The health upgrades,
like
the
that.
modifiers. Yeah. That's what they're called.
So you just used a condenser there, which is like the thing that changes you from a soft currency to a hard currency, basically. It means you won't lose it when you die. There's loads of those hanging around, so it's really like it's really easy to farm if you need to in this, which I haven't really felt like I've had to in what I've played so far.
I haven't really seen anything that has been like, oh, I need to get this right now.
Something I thought was quite interesting about the combat is that so many of these games, you use a downward attack. It's like one of your primary attacks for dealing damage to enemies. Mio doesn't really let you do that. You have a downward attack, but it doesn't really do any damage. And a lot of the time, it won't even hit enemies, and it mainly just bounces you upwards. So it's more like a mobility tool.
Yeah.
And you have to hit them either above you or in front of you, which puts you at risk.
We're going to heal up here. We've actually reached a pretty good checkpoint. This is going to make our lives a lot easier. So this door here. Oh, and I can show y'all the momentum thing I was talking about earlier. Ready? Okay, so let's... Okay, we're gonna drop down here first, though. So we're basically back at the hub now, which is great. Our
What
guys
we got?
not here? Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Hey. How have you found the writing in the game so far? Like, there's not much dialogue, but you find like notes and stuff left by other robots and hints towards the people who used to inhabit the ship as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think it's quite come together for me yet in a way that like makes it feel incredibly effective. It's cool that they're like sort of laying down some groundwork and some ideas of what's kind of happened here. But right now, a lot of it is just proper nouns to me, and I need some more some more vibes. Yeah, so this place used to be magnificent. It was once, standing here, and there was this big, beautiful place, and it's kind of lost its luster, and the life has kind of been drained out of it. And so we're here to sort of fill the pond back up. As you can see, that's all I was able to do right now, because
That was pathetic, Jesse.
I converted my currency because I needed it for other things. But yeah,
and
so...
you noted they said like, as long as I'm blind, so are you, and that's a big hint to be like, you're gonna get a map if you help them out.
You can come here and drop off currency without having to die, so it's not like you have to consistently die in order to do that. But since we don't have any more currency, we're not dead. I'm gonna show you the ice thing. I think we're gonna do one little last fight here, and then we're probably be done after that. we've showed you quite a good part. I don't want to spoil too much of this game for you.
Yeah. I think one of the things I want to highlight about it, though, is that it's a very optimistic game. Like, it starts really dark and like everything's shut down, as you can see, with this ship that's like, it's quite a sad scenario, this ship that's clearly like something's gone very wrong with it. But I've found the whole time I'm exploring, it's really serene and peaceful, and all of the little like robots you encounter and talk to are so friendly and nice. Like, it's not a very hostile game.
This boss took me a little bit.
You gotta get him first time now.
Not a crazy long time, but it definitely did take me more. That move in particular, just every time.
It looks like he's holding a pair of like traditional, you know, like the classic magnets that you get at school.
The U-shaped like red and blue ones.
Nice. That was close. Okay. Kind of killing it so far. As you can see, Jesse can kind of just like sit on top of the enemy and they will not hurt you unless they're doing an attack. Which means I'm sure speedrunners will find ways to kill these bosses absurdly quickly. Whoa. Oh yeah, he's doing messy stuff now.
There we go. It's pretty brutal. All right, we'll run it back one time. So this is the speed thing I'm talking about, where you can kind of jump and keep your momentum. You can do that for like a pretty long time, which is really nice.
I think it's rude, to be honest, that this guy interrupted you when you were doing it. You can see that Jesse's a purist in that the game gave us the hairpin for flying around, and Jesse's like, I don't need it. I'm just gonna jump on top of this robot and smack it in the face.
It just wastes. It just wastes time.
Yeah. He really holds on to that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You push those so much closer than I would ever. I'm such a conservative boss fighter. Oh, nice. He got you with that last time. He can't have too much more. Oh, first hairpin of the boss fight. And it messed you up.
Yeah, see? There we go.
Hey, there we go.
A cat.
You have defeated a cat. How do you feel? People love cats.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get canceled for that one. I can't.
You can't kill a cat live in a video.
Oh, this guy's so dramatic. His death is so dramatic. He's like, oh my god, I've been defeated. And now we get another checkpoint. Or so you thought.
Bye.
It went away somewhere. Where did it go? We'll never know.
I just want people to see the colors of the Metropolis.
Yeah, that's exactly.
There we go.
Yeah, this we'll leave him on something to think about.
See, that looks nice.
It's
got a tram system and all.
Look at the Metropolis. Look how beautiful this looks. This is what most of the game looks like, to be clear. Once you're out of that little opening area, this is what the game really opens up into. But yeah, I just want to say, Henry, thanks for joining me on this adventure as we talked about Mio, Memories, and Orbit.
I feel like we talked more about Silksong than Mio, but
but you know what? It's good to have comparison points, right? And
absolutely.
Yeah, so Mio's coming out for a bunch of different platforms. It releases on January January 20th. My apologies.
20th.
20th. Which, if you're watching this, it's basically out. So, pick it up where your platform of choice. And for everything else, we're restart.run. So this is our first one of these little videos we're trying to do here. So if you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and we'll get back to you, because that's our job. Our job is to talk to you, the community.
You specifically.
You specifically.
No, not the community. Not the community. You. You right there.
You're our best friend.
You're our only friend. We're not even friends with each other, but we'll be friends with you.
We'll be friends with you.
No, Mio's cool. Check it out. And if you like Metroidvanias, it seems like it's got a lot of good Metroidvania systems. I'm enjoying it.
All right. And that's everything from us. We'll catch you all later.
Thank you, and bye.